Hello, everybody. It's Caterina Barregar from Imagine Life Coaching, the Yes You Can Empowerment for Women group, and the Yes You Can Women in Business group. I'm so excited this morning to have my friend CHERYL Bishop online with me today, and several others actually. It's kind of fun. I run an organization. It's an international organization where I'm helping women with their self-esteem, both in their workplace, their profession, or in their home life. And so that means that they get to create great relationships with themselves so that they can create better relationships with other people. And so I want to introduce to you today CHERYL. I met CHERYL through the Colin Sprake Make Your Mark program, and we had this kind of thing going on between us. She's an intuitive. She's just been such an awesome, heart-centered individual, and she is very solid and very centered. So I just want to introduce you to her. Now, what she started off with was she was in the banking industry, and that was for 16 years. She was also involved in skincare and fitness businesses and that sort of thing, and she was on local media quite a bit and was involved in direct selling. So this was like a long time ago. And now she is a heart-centered speaker. I mean, anybody who knows of CHERYL or has been to any of the events knows this about her. Very heart-centered, an author, and a heart connection manager. I love that actually title. It's beautiful, of the Make Your Mark training and consulting. So I want to introduce you to CHERYL and talk about her passion, because she has a huge passion for helping people in their business. So hi, CHERYL.
Hi, Caterina.
So glad we're here.
And everyone else. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure and an honor to support you in any way I can.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks. So today we're going to talk about your passion for what you do. And I just want to know what it is, what makes you passionate about your work. What is it that makes you passionate about it?
Well, Caterina and everyone else, I think it all really starts from what we have experienced as a childhood. My dad was an entrepreneur for years. He started off being a dairy farmer in Winnipeg and moved to BC without a job with 2 kids and did a lot of businesses. And through my young adulthood, I saw him struggle and I saw him succeed and I saw him fail. So I through all that process, just growing up in that environment, really assisted me in understanding that the majority of our success in life is really what's going on right between here. It's our coconut, if you want to say, it's our mindset. And so that experience in growing up really made me realize, I love your titles where you say, yes, you can, because it's so true. Yes, you can, but ourselves, sometimes we have this false belief about ourselves.
Yes.
And I had a false belief ever since I started when I was 9 years old, that I wasn't smart enough. And I recognized that. I went through a process and learned that was stuck in my subconscious mind. I didn't even know for so long. And people would always say to me, yes, you can. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I can. So through all those experiences really landed me with Colin Sprake, and I've met him since 2005, and has landed me into really assisting people to grow, because anyone can really, truly achieve what they are so destined and so born to have. It's our self-doubt, our subconscious mind, our mindset that really gets in our own way.
And you made a really good point there. It's our birthright to be successful. Yeah. It's our birthright to be happy. And it's our birthright to feel joy every single day of our lives. Mm-hmm. What we do is we get the story in our head that says, I can't do this. I've been told I cannot do this, that I am not worthy of this. And so for me, that's my passion and my bliss. And it's sort of similar to yours in a way, where I just really want women to know that they are worthy of whatever it is that they choose to be, whoever they want to be. I talk about, if you're the best muffin maker in the world, I want to hear about your passion. I want to know what makes that muffin so awesome, So let's hear a little bit more about Make Your Mark, and what is it about that is so special for you and so empowering for you?
Well, when we started in 2009 to really build all the seminars, what we noticed is we first would allow all students to go through sales training, marketing training, and then they would go through our signature course that's called Business Mastery Today, Business Mastery - The Power in You, when we were creating that, all our students didn't go through that at first.
Mm-hmm.
And what we noticed is our first business master we did in 2010, every single one of those students, and when I call them students, they're all ages, all walks of life, they're learning, and that's why we call them students versus clients, is that they all came up to me and said the exact same thing. Cheryl, I wish I would have taken this course first, because now I think and look at sales and marketing differently.
Yeah.
And that is when the moment Colin and I went back to the drawing board and said, business mastery has to be their start button. We can't allow anyone to do any other meat and potato business, because if their mindset is not set up for success, it doesn't matter ultimately how many strategies people will learn.
Yes.
It's their story that's running in behind that will not allow them to move forward.
It's totally true. I know people who are brilliant. Okay, so I'll share one story about a physicist that I worked with. I've worked with several physicists. For some reason, they keep coming to me, okay? And one of them was supposed to be in a meeting in Texas with a bunch of, other physicists and stuff, but he couldn't speak people. He had to speak numbers. He was not able to communicate and be social, but he was brilliant. He had a gift. It was his divine gift that he was supposed to get out there in the world. So I had to teach him how to speak people and speak from the heart. And then he was able to stand in front of all those other people and speak like he was relating to other people. So this was a very cool thing, but it helps you to understand that your story is what's going to keep you stuck wherever you are. And it's your story that we can change. We can just write a whole new book if you're ready and if you want to do it. Okay, so what are the benefits when you're doing your work with your students, with your clients, with the people that come to you? What are the benefits for them of working with you?
Growth.
Yeah.
Personally and professionally. Because let's take finance for a prime example. If your finance in your personal life is not going well, chances are your business finance is not going to go well. Personal and business is really together.
It is so together. You are so right on. Yeah.
Yes. So that's how it works, So when we say the benefits are really personal growth as well as professional growth, because you are one individual. Yeah. And you're going to be the same individual in your personal life as you will be in your business.
Exactly.
How you do anything is how you do everything.
It's so, well, that's my work. That's my bliss. I love that. And that's your work and your bliss too. I love this conversation.
Oh, me too.
So it's very yummy. So if you were to talk about empowerment, what does the word empowerment mean for you?
To me, the word is, it's almost like in the Bible, it says a way of not showing somebody how to fish, it's teaching them how to fish. Yes. It's along the same line. It's really teaching people and believing people more than they can believe in themselves. So eventually they can believe in themselves and go for it and build their building blocks. So it's really just educating them and supporting them so that when they're empowered, they can fly away like
it's just like a little bird in the nest. You're teaching them how to fly. I love it. That is perfect. So before we close today and get on to some of the other questions from maybe some of the other people online, if you were to tell the Yes You Can group one thing that would empower them to move towards what's possible, what one thing would you encourage them to do?
I would just encourage them to be extremely self-aware and self-observant of everything they think and do. Yeah. I was years ago, I totally had a false belief that was running in my hard drive that I wasn't smart enough. And I know exactly where that comes from, but I had to work on that. I had to go, anytime I heard myself say to myself, oh, you can't do that. I would go, cancel, cancel, cancel. So I would be more self-aware. So the more we can be self-aware of what we're thinking, what we're saying, and what we're doing, the more we can learn from all of those and enhance that to move forward in our lives.
Yeah, beautiful. And when we realize that what we might think is our path is leading us to another path that's actually even greater than where we were in the first place. And knowing and understanding that if something's stopping you and blocking you, you're not in flow and you're not on that right path. So you need to get yourself on the right path. And just trusting in your higher power, whatever that looks like for you, that this is where your higher power is going to take you where you need to go, no matter what. So,
absolutely. We call that a universal challenge line.
Yeah.
We all come up with against it all the time, no matter what it is. And Colin and I have come up against it many times.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is, this is where the universal challenge line will say, how bad do you want it?
Yes.
If you want it bad enough, we're going to give you the success on the other side.
That's it.
If you are going to turn around and say, I can't do it, then how can the universe give you the success if you don't want to work for it?
Man, you are speaking my language.
Oh, I know. I love this language. We can talk about this for days.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so the people that are online right now, do you have any questions for Cheryl, or do you have any comments for Cheryl, or for me for that matter? I think Paige has actually left, so yeah.
She probably has, yeah.
I'll open a conversation.
Sure.
Because we're talking about this universal line. And I have a coach that we talked about how bad do you want it? Mm. And the logic, basically, if you're talking about divine, whether you're born again Christian or you're wherever you're moving, you're seeing the light, you're moving towards this movement. When you get this surge to move towards this, the obstacles will come.
That's it.
And trip you up.
Yes.
And the greater the thirst and the harder the drive, to pull up the socks every morning and today's the day we're going to push that, go forth for it button, you get sideswiped a lot. And we're talking specifically about computer glitches. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's the funny part, is that there's this beautiful message that needs to come out, and there's this alternate force that comes in and says, I'm going to have some fun with this today.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what happened. And I was telling her, my little niece that lives in Ontario, she's in first year university, I'm trying to get her this gift. And I bought one of these Tibetan scrolls had little happiness is, love is, like little empowerment things. There were 6 of them.
Yeah.
And before I could even mail it to her, I lost it somewhere in the house. You know how you lose stuff. Yeah. You think, okay, somebody's messing with me again. And I had to phone her. I lost your present. I'm trying to find it. Maybe it's under the bed. It dropped down the couch. I remember looking at it. It's, went through the gift shelf to I'm going to mail this to, never did it.
Right.
Had to buy another one.
Yeah.
Because I had to find another one to buy another one. So now it's 2 weeks late, and now I can't find the card. Now I can't, it just went on and I thought, I could have just given up or bought her a sweater, right? But there was something that interrupted this force that I had to send this to my niece.
Yes.
Right? This is important. And so it wasn't business. It wasn't, anything. It's even not life-threatening at all. It was just, I had this intention that this little girl needed something from me, something colorful from her Aunt Kathy to put in her dorm room to just remind her of her stance and her empowerment. I'm getting goosebumps. I can't wait till she opens it. That finally went out. But we are struggling with this stuff in multiple things, or you're trying to get a page set up, and just as you're like, okay, we're in the home stretch, something totally right? And so coping skills, I get it. I live the dream. I feel the dream. I'm also got some intuitive things that are being not recognized properly till more recently. That I knew that back then, and I knew that.
And it's all a journey, right? Like it's
part of the journey.
So part of it is. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just talking about coping skills.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how you guys are. You doing the little tap thing? Are you doing the? Okay, I'm gonna.
Here's what I do. Here's what I do. I'll tell you what I do is I recognize that tests are going to come my way every single day. Some of them are going to be bigger and some of them are going to be smaller. The more personal work that I've done over the years and the more I am awake and aware in myself, the easier it is for me to balance back into center. And so intuitively, if something comes at me, and believe me, this year's been a real fun one.
It's only 6 weeks long.
Well, no, it's been pretty interesting. But anyway, so I always go, okay, I'm going to freak out about this and I'm going to give myself a certain amount of time. But then I recognize in my own personal little space right here, things are perfect. Whatever's happening around me, that's a test. How am I going to react to that test? And then I bring myself back into balance. So that's me. What about you, Cheryl?
I always, anytime anything happens, like technology this morning, I mean, I was just on Zoom on Friday night and it was totally fine. Yeah. So I don't know what happened. I always say to myself, what is it that I can learn from this process right now?
Yeah.
And throughout myself being aware of myself and being self-observant, I have learned to be calm all the time. Like nothing freaks me out.
Yeah.
Because if I'm being freaked out, I'm serving something else, and that's not serving me.
Exactly.
So it's always, what can I learn from this? Yeah. And to be calm, because things do happen. It's called life.
It is. It absolutely is. And you know, Monique talks about the chaos cycle quite often.
Yes.
And I use that with my clients all the time. If you are moving from chaos into action, you're done. You've got to take all the steps around it. Anyway, this is off topic a little bit, but on the other hand, it's kind of on
You
topic.
asked a question.
I know, it's great. So is there anything else we want to say before we complete here today? With this call, I could take an hour or two on this.
Oh, for sure.
Well, you know what? We might have to do a telesummit on something like this.
We might.
And
one of the things, if you've got some listeners, so one of the things that I teach you feng shui for coping skills, rather than punching out your computer, again, when you use the term going back into center, is if you bring your back into yourself, start here. Okay, start with yourself. Okay, am I hot? Am I cold? Am I hungry? Yeah. Well, I've got earphones on today. They're freaking doing stuff with the chainsaw out there, and I have to wear earphones in my own house, and it pisses me off. But you know what? I can hear you guys better. But so you can deal with yourself first. Absolutely. And then you can go into the other stuff.
It's so much easier. Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for all your comments and thoughts. That's great.
But I'm really glad to meet both of you today. This is awesome. I think we've found some like-minded people, and that maybe we can develop a good support for each other. So I like that.
So if you want more about Cheryl, her website and Colin's website is www.mymsuccess.com. And Cheryl is also on all kinds of social media. And so you guys can reach her. And really, it is a great program. I love Colin. I love Cheryl. I love everything they're doing. I love Monique. And for me, if you want to reach me to work on what we were just talking about, which is your relationship with yourself in your personal life so that you can have better relationships in personal and in business, then I'm the one to talk to. And so you can reach me at www.caterinabarregar.com. You can also join my group at YesYouCan Empowerment for Women at Facebook, and also YesYouCan Women in Business. Love that. And if you're interested in doing one of these videos, drop me a line. Go to my website and contact me. I'd love to hear from you. So that completes us for today. Big hugs to both of you.
Big hugs.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. And let's get in touch about a telesummit or something later on down the road. That would be so much fun. Thank you.
Sounds like
so much. Okay, big kisses. Bye.